Good to see you all. I'm making this the last week on this project. Although we've still got another week in May, I thought we'd start the new project next week. Can everybody remember what it is?
I've got it in the diary.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's either flowers or it's animals. I think it's flowers. Well, I thought it was animals, but I heard Ian mentioning flowers. I thought it was flowers. I'll check. I'll check in the email.
Oh, it's animals, is it? Oh,
That's what I prefer.
I'll have a look.
I don't mind animals.
So this month has been skies and weather effects. So I'll do a quick recap of the demos. I think I started with oils, so painted clouds, and then there was a demo, pretty much same image, using watercolours, and in this one I used the masking fluid, so that was an option to try masking fluid. The oils was water mixable oils, which I've been using, and we've got some water mixable oils here if anybody wants to try them. And then last week was misty weather effect, so that was the watercolour one. I did two very quick ones, and that was the oils one. So have a look. I thought today going to rain, as it could well be raining. I picked this image because one of the students on my Thursday class was asking. I actually did a painting from this spot years ago, about 5 years ago, which I sold, and she was asking me how I kind of went about painting it. So I thought that would be a good one to use as a demo. This is Back Abbey. There was a nice bit of shelter here that I could stand under and paint a rainy theme. That's what I did years ago. I'm trying to remember what I did. I think I probably just sketched out roughly the shape of the abbey. I'm going to leave that bit. It's more the effects of the rain, I think, are more noticeable in the reflections on the pavement more than anything. And you can, in this photo, you can just about see a few raindrops, but where they're hitting the pavement. But I think cameras don't really capture rain very well, I don't think. The actual, feeling of the rain across. So I would use my imagination a little bit there and make something up. So what I do to start with the reflections, we've got, what we're really seeing is pavement with a watery mirror-like surface on it. So in some places you're looking through and you can see the colour of the individual paving slabs. Other bits are reflecting bits of the abbey or bits of the people, and then other bits are reflecting the sky. So this is reflecting the sky in this bit. So I've mixed some browns and greys, just using oils, just try and get just to get some colour that I can block in and pop down to start with. And the idea is I can kind of scrub this in and then work into this. So just to get a base, what you call a blocking in phase. So it's basically just blocks of colour. It's a little bit darker just here. But really just to get one colour down to start with for here. And just the tiniest bit of painting medium, which just helps the paint flow. So I quite often, with oil paints, I'll start, using the paint quite thinly, but really kind of scrubbing the paint into the board, so that I haven't got too much paint on there, but it has the effect of colouring the board. So that can be the dark area. I'll do the same with the light area, so really the same sort of colour, but I'm just going to lighten that and make it almost this slightly pinky whitey colour. A lot of my boards I tend to tone anyway. I'll put a bit of acrylic paint on to start with, so that I'm not working on a white surface. And I find that a lot easier to work with. Perhaps it wants a tiny bit blue as well with that. And a bit more white. So just getting this colour of the reflection of the sky. I've sketched out, I don't know if you can do that, I've sketched out roughly where the figure would be. It's going to be. And then this is all light, so perhaps a little bit bluer. And I can make some adjustments to go there. there. And then the figure and the reflections, I'll just go to a different brush. Right, I've pre-mixed some dark colours. So mostly browns and blues. The figure is slightly darker than the reflection, so that's something to be aware of. When you're looking at reflections, quite often what you find is dark colours reflect slightly lighter. But if it's a lighter colour, you might find it's just very slightly darker. So it kind of moderates, sort of averages out the tones. So that's something just to be aware of and to be looking out for. So I'm not going to go into great detail with popping the figure in. Just want to get a silhouette as such. So she's going to be about there. To get that in. The bit I really want to get onto is like where you start to see little bits of reflections of light and shadow and that sort of thing in pavement. So her leg is going to be about there. I have to be a little bit careful that I don't pick up the light colours here. You could actually do the darks first, that might make more sense, and then put some of the lights around there. So her foot is about there. Just worry about that. And then the reflection, from there on is reflection, and probably from about there on is reflection. So I just want to go very slightly lighter. That's a little bit a lighter brown into that. A tiny bit of red. And a tiny bit of white. So about there. And just try and follow that as a shape. Come to about there. And then it starts to just fragment and break, just fill out almost like the reflection catching other bits of the paving slabs. So that would be the start. Let's see, we've got another figure just in here, I've just got a bit dark there. And then working into that, what I then do is perhaps go to slightly smaller brushes and try and get some, that one, just effects of individual paving slabs that are slightly different tones and colours. This window, I can sort of see individual bits of the reflection of that there. So that would be quite dark like that there. And there's a slightly darker bit there. I think that particular slab is slightly more purpley. Got some blues and reds and that. It's a bit too dark, a little bit lighter. Like that. And then we've got a more yellowy slab next to it, just in here. Slightly, yeah, I just want to make slight alterations actually, that's probably enough. So the tone's roughly the same, but it's a slight colour shift, colour change. Same here, this could go a little bit yellower. Just in here. And then there's some slightly lighter bits there, I'm not sure why they're slightly lighter, but that can go a little bit lighter there. So it's basically blocking it in with one colour and then painting other colours into that. And because I've spread the colour quite thinly, that will still stick. So I'm going to kind of go into there. A bit lighter on that side, perhaps reflecting this light kind of sandstone, bathstone. Yeah. Like that. And then there's some slightly darker ones just on the edge there. I guess one thing to be aware of is the perspective, like these are, they're closer together up here and then the slabs get wider apart. at some point I can see sort of edges of paving stones. So these ones in particular are reflecting light. These ones here are slightly shadowy, so I'll do a few shadowy ones. Straight lines, sometimes I'll just do them freehand, so I'll do some freehand ones. So what I was using was, these ones are bristle brushes, quite stiff brushes that I'm going to scrub the paint around with. This is a nice nylon brush, a fairly new one, and that comes to a really nice sharp point. So I can get a sharp lines like that. I can just sort of bring those across. Or if I want to, this is a bit of wood I've just cut to a little bevel, and this is useful as a ruler. So if I want something to work along, I can just use that to get a nice sharp line. That's one way that I use it. But they're not perfectly straight anyway, so perhaps freehand might work better. So we've got some slightly darker ones here. I'm seeing individual bits of paving stone. Up here they're lighter, so I need to go a bit lighter. Let's just wipe that brush and put some lighter colour on it. If I can get away with not washing the brush, I'd rather just wipe it, because it's quicker. Otherwise the brush gets really wet and then I've got to dry it again. So to paint quickly, it's just easier to just wipe the brushes. And just pick up a bit of the lighter colour. And I could start to just see a few, that's probably a bit too light, let's just darken that a little bit. Individual paving slabs, a bit medium. But certainly down here, there's some quite light, bright edges. On there, shorten up a bit, back. And I think it then perhaps have a few, just going back into place. I think it starts to give an impression of wet pavement. It's that sort of process. The actual trying to paint rain itself is a tricky one. I think the only way I could think to do it is perhaps using a very small brush, like a rigger brush, make the paint reasonably fluid. Where you've got something that's in shadow, perhaps use some, it's a bit of an experiment, perhaps it's just a few kind of lighter, that one's a bit heavy, let's try and perhaps do some lighter marks, a bit like that. And then if you're going through a lighter area, you need to go the other way, you need to go a bit darker. So on these areas, you might want to that's maybe too dark. Just needs to be just slightly, sometimes you can make a mark and it just appears too heavy, it doesn't seem to balance. That might be better, just a few lines that way. I think that can certainly, you might have a few coming across here. And what I saw there was just little specks really, I don't know if that would really work. That's the sort of techniques I use when I'm out painting that from mine. Is that enough? Yes. Right, okay. Any questions? No? Okay, right.